Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle once and for all.
Best appetizer?
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcasts should have a theme song. Podcasts should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
Before we make this decision, Mark, can I get you anything to start?
Ooh, yeah. Let me look at your appetizer menu. Hey, real quick, why are all your appetizers $30 now?
Because we can do it. 2025, America. Take that.
Why are you sitting in my booth? Get out of my booth.
Because I'm part of this. I'm part of it. I'm doing that thing that makes me uncomfortable where I come in and sit like I get real close to you. And I'm like, we're strangers. I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
I once had a server she didn't do the, hey, I'm one of you guys and I'm your buddy, sit down with us.
Yeah.
She was older than us by a couple of generations, and her whole vibe was, I'm going to be your stern grandmother at this table. That's the vibe it was a diner setting, so I get stern grandmother as your vibe. But if your thing is to lean really hard on the edge of the table and put all your weight just on the edge of that table and lean in and look at everybody and give them that southern drawl of yours, make sure there's not a hand underneath your hand when you put all your weight on the edge of the table. I realize you maybe like in the moment your brain goes, oh, that's okay. It's just like you're holding hands with your grandkid. But to the person sitting at the table, that's their eating hand. And now they can't use it for several weeks while it gets splinted.
It's your fault for when you go into a diner, you assume certain risks. And one of them is that an aging server will crush your hand with their hand.
I did not know that was one of the risks. The thing is, they don't have that on the sign. It's not like the sign that they put on a vending machine that shows a person getting tipped over onto.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't have like an outline of a server just crushing your hand at the table.
They need a hand under a hand with a Ghostbuster symbol on the bottom hand so that you know you don't want to be the bottom hand because then your hand will hurt. And it'll be harder to pick up all the appetizers that you eat, which are my favorite, by the way. I think appetizers might be my favorite part of a meal. Like a good appetizer.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's communal. An appetizer is the most communal part of the meal, I think. It's like, okay, first we're all going to have some fun together, and then we're all going to break off into our own little zone and eat this second plate that we each get our own version of, or maybe we share with someone else. The first whole round is so frequently, first of all, problematic when it comes to the bill, because it's like, I didn't technically order those appetizers, but more than that, it's the free-for-all at the beginning where it's like, hey, I know you ordered a burger, but we also ordered a sampler platter, so here is all of the tan food that this restaurant sells first.
By the way, the only part of this I'm hung up on is you going, it's the most communal part of the meal. I'm like, yeah, because I'm eating this plate of chicken wings and you're watching, and that's a shared experience we have.
You're not a share an appetizer guy, Hal? Come on.
This is my impression of me if your hand gets close to my appetizer. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness.
Sometimes I'll share.
Sometimes.
On. I'm better about it now, but there are times where I order, because it's the same thing that there's always one person at the table who orders something that everybody wants, and everybody else orders something that that person doesn't want. And they're like, we'll share. And then you go, will we? Yes, I will share. And you will all enjoy all the other food that I do not want to eat. And I will get less of the one thing I want to eat. I'll get less food. That's the headline. But that's the lead of the article. Hal got less food.
Hal got less food because he doesn't want anything green that you ordered as part of your appetizer. Just give me my tato skins. Tater or tato?
Tater.
Okay. Green what?
Greens go in salad or on the side of your meal later on.
Yeah.
You don't get nothing watercress. People like mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms. Look, there's a lot I don't like. It's not even the color of it. It's not that it has to be beige. It's just, I don't eat everything. And so when it becomes family style, I go, oh, yeah, the Addams family. This sucks.
Look, if the Addams family opened a restaurant, I think the only person who could be the server is It, right? You just put the tray on that flat top part of his wrist, on his, you're just like, hey, It, come here. We're going to tape this tray to your wrist flat. And then we're going to put all the appetizers on it.
Is that his head? Because here's the question. When he walks, he's doing the on his fingers. Yeah. But then it feels like he points and does stuff that would be like just hand function. So I don't know, like, how much is he the hamburger helper glove and how much is he a spider with a flat top?
Can I tell you this, Hal? This is factually accurate. He's 100% the hamburger helper glove. He, like a Muppeteer, has to pretend his mouth is where it isn't. So he's walking around on his butt, pretending that he has a face in the palm of his hand to tell you all about hamburger helper and how it makes a great Italian meal, which is insulting to my people. He's also the Arby's mitt. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh,
he's been working pretty steadily.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You think that Wednesday is the only one that broke out? No. Thing broke out. Or Cousin It. Wait. Did I say? I said
Thing.
It before
it's
I meant Thing.
It is the
it's
cousin.
Thing,
It is the haircut. But you know what? I was with you on it.
You knew what I
was
meant.
with you. It's fine. Yeah. Let's talk about appetizers.
Let's talk about appetizers. I feel how, like, America has really perfected the appetizer in a very American way. What we have done is we have taken the tiny little amuse-bouche or hors d'oeuvre from the old country, wherever the old country is. There's the whole rest of the world is the old country.
There are a lot of them.
And you have a little bit of something at the beginning of the meal. We brought it to the United States and we said, no, this is not going to be something small you get at the beginning of the meal. This is going to be 5,000 calories on a platter that really should be on a football-themed tablecloth in February. We have taken the appetizer and made it a giant communal meal that you have, or for most, communal meal that you have before you go ahead and have the rest of your meal. And I am here for it.
Well, I mean, it's, do you want a meal before your meal?
Yeah.
And then do you want a sweet meal after your meal? That's like the essence of American dining. And I make no apologies for it. And that's not a judgment. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So I feel like there are the classic things that you would order at almost every chain restaurant.
Yes.
And local restaurants have their version of it too. Things you would get in a sports bar. Then there are also the more culturally diverse, like pot stickers or dumplings, sauteed green beans. Like there are things that you can get ahead of time at other restaurants, or like an egg roll. Love a good egg roll.
Sure.
But we're not counting like the bread that's brought to the table or the chips or the crispy noodles. That is not, I don't care if you have to order chips and salsa. That's not an appetizer. That's something that you expect at your table.
Yeah.
All the time.
That is a welcome to our restaurant.
Nachos are an appetizer. Chips and salsa are not.
Yeah, chips and salsa are not an appetizer. As soon as you add meat, cheese, and assorted other items, now it's nachos. Now it's an appetizer. Now it is a big platter that we're all going to have. Hal, I opened up a bunch of appetizer menus from the holy trinity of American cuisine, Applebee's, Chili's, and TGI Fridays.
Okay.
Among others. And there is so much crossover that I have in front of me a Venn diagram that shows where the crossover is between all of these different restaurants. And there is a lot of it. But in addition to that, there is a whole collection of signature appetizers from America's classic chain restaurants. So I think we can break this in half. We can first look at either look first at the signature appetizers, see if one comes out of there and rises to the top. Then we'll take a look at the classic where the Venn diagram meets appetizers and pull one from that. Or we can just, we can reverse that, or one may rise to the top. I don't know. I do want to talk about some of these signature ones though, because there's some pretty fun stuff on here.
I do like that you outlined two options and then offered a third one that doesn't exist, as if I'm going to go, wait, what's that third one? I'll pay you for it. I'll pay you dearly. Everything in my wallet I'll give you for this third choice. I don't know what it is. It's a black box and I'm excited to open it.
Hal, I'll tell you what the third choice is. And this is the first time in 500 plus episodes I've actually offered this third choice is, why don't we just freewheel it?
What?
I know. You always want to just freewheel it, Hal.
Let's freewheel it, but I'm curious what signature. Are you talking about signatures just from these top three? Like, can we talk about the bloomin' onion?
Top three. We are. So I'll give you a list of,
Okay.
I'll give you a short list of some of the most popular, unique signature appetizers, and then we'll get to the other classic ones.
Yes.
From Outback Steakhouse, we've got, of course, the Bloomin' Onion. Did you
Yes.
ever have a local restaurant that did a ripoff of the Bloomin' Onion?
Yeah, I mean, Texas Roadhouse does like the Awesome Blossom or Cactus Blossom. There are a lot of
Okay,
chains that will do it, and then there are local places that do it as well. But nobody does it as well as Outback does because it is
No.
a mess.
It is a delightful mess. We'll get back to that. Cheesecake Factory has 2 of them, avocado egg rolls and their fried macaroni and cheese. One of my
the
favorites
balls.
is fried macaroni and cheese. Yeah. Which my
Yeah,
brother
they're
used
good.
to make at his place in Ballard.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Bang Bang Shrimp from Bonefish Grill. You've got chicken lettuce wraps from PF Chang's.
Sure.
Rattlesnake bites from Texas Roadhouse. Red Robin's onion ring tower. I know you love an onion ring tower.
Sure.
And Olive Garden's absolutely unhinged lasagna frita, which is squares of whole ass lasagna fried as an appetizer. Olive Garden is chaotic evil, right? Is it chaotic evil or is it chaotic good?
I feel like this is what I think Olive Garden is. That you tell me based on that what you think its alignment is. Olive Garden is, have you ever heard of Italian food before? No? Great. Here's what it is. Come in here, open your mouth, lean back. I'm going to turn you into Mr. Creosote from Monty Python's Meaning of Life. And then you're going to explode when you have one wafer thin mint when I bring you the check.
Nothing at Olive Garden is wafer thin, regardless of how they pitch their tagliatelle.
They say, like, when you're here, your family, but it should be, you like Italian food? We'll see about that.
We'll show you Hospitaliano. What
Yeah.
we won't show you is authentic cuisine.
And then you'll need an ambulance to get to the Hospitaliano.
Yeah, here's the thing. When you go to Italy and you sit down in a restaurant and you ask what the translation is for, what do you mean you don't have unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks? You get kicked out of that restaurant pretty fast.
As you walk down the street, everything's shuddering like a cartoon. Oh, La Diabla.
La Diabla. That's my nickname when I go to Italian restaurants.
Yeah.
So do any of these stand out for you, Hal?
The Bloomin' Onion,
Yeah.
because onion rings are onions. You can be very good onion. Red Robin, known for their fries, like renowned for having very good fries. So they know how to fry their food. But onion rings ultimately are something you get on the side. And it feels like a little bit of a cheat to sort of have them in there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
To go like, oh, well, you know, here it looks like the child's toy where you have the different rings, which I love the presentation, but it also feels like this should be part of the meal.
The onion rings?
Yes, but the Bloomin' Onion / Cactus Blossom, wherever your favorite one is, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I prefer the Bloomin' Onion, is like almost defies description.
Oh.
Like if you were to explain to someone, if they were like Bloomin' Onion,
yeah.
what is that? Go ahead, pitch me. Give me the elevator pitch. It's
All
a
right.
short elevator ride. Give me the.
Okay,
give me what
here's
the
my
Bloomin'
elevator
Onion is.
pitch. Oh, gosh. Great. Will you hit 49 for me? Thank you.
Uh-huh,
Okay, I've
great.
got 49 floors to tell you about this. Imagine that Ron Popeil invented a knife that has only one use, and it's to turn a large white onion that costs roughly 10 cents into a flower. Into a giant, looks like a lotus flower. And then
35.
And then takes that onion that is now somehow still all together and held because one of the ends is still. No, go
440.
on, say a number. Okay. One of those ends is still pinched
445.
together. So it's all one big unit. And then you take that onion and you know how a suitcase feels when it's empty? Hold on. You know how a suitcase feels when it's empty?
Yeah.
And how it feels when it's full.
Uh-huh.
That's how, if you've ever tried to make one at home or seen one made, when a Bloomin' Onion is dipped, when a 10 cents worth of onion is dipped in 20 cents worth of batter,
Right.
and then is lifted up, it's the weight difference between an empty suitcase and a full suitcase. This onion has been cut into so many petals that they each collect a pancake's worth of batter.
Yeah.
And then that giant monstrosity is dropped into a deep fryer, taken out, flipped over, put on a plate, and served to you for an exorbitant fee. And may I say, an exorbitant 2,900 calories.
I have, for sure, a number of times in my life eaten half of one of those by myself.
Really? I can eat maybe 3 petals and then I'm done.
Sometimes there are other people at the table. Sometimes I'm sitting at the bar at the Outback, getting ready and using that as a warm up.
Please say at the airport.
Salad comes. No, I'm there. I was there in 2004 to watch the World Series, or the ALCS with the Yankees and Red Sox. And the Red Sox had that amazing comeback. And I'm sitting at the bar because I don't want to wait for a table. Heaven forbid that I not get the food 15 minutes later.
Man, I get it. I'm generally a sit at the bar person in that situation.
I have the mug full of pink lemonade and they bring me, I eat as much of it as I can. And then comes the salad. Then comes a giant prime rib and then comes a dessert.
That is a lot of a meal.
Then comes the
bloomin'
toilet.
onion. Then comes the toilet.
Mm-hmm. Painfully.
The bloomin' onion it's delicious.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
It's entirely too much for me. I think it's pretending to be, it's punching above its weight class. You know what I mean?
You think so?
And I think that's maybe a thing in its favor is that it's just an onion and batter. And yet it is being presented in a way, they're easy to pop off, the little bites. You know, it's nice. It's a good appetizer. It's a way to elevate something like the onion ring. Obviously, if this versus Red Robin's onion ring tower, the bloomin' onion is going to win because it's the flashier version of the same thing, whose only job is to be the flashy version of something pedestrian.
Well, it also is the dredge that they put it through has a lot more pepper, maybe a little cayenne in there. It's a lot spicier.
That's true. It's got that pink. It's pink because it's so much spicier. Yeah.
Yeah. It is a revelation, I would deign to say. I think it's so good, but you can't eat too much of it. You will get sick. There's also the experience, like some of them are crispy. Some of them are really soggy. Sometimes I would
translate to some of them are crispy and some of them are bad.
Exactly. And some people would say some of them are soggy and some of them are bad. That's the beauty of it, is that there are a lot of different, it can satisfy a few different types of eaters. That one needs to be communal. It doesn't feel good, Mark, to go there by yourself, to just pop over to the Northridge Outback and sit outside.
Yeah.
By the parking lot at a table and eat a bloomin' onion.
And then to try to go into the escape room they have at that Northridge Mall with a full belly of bloomin' onion batter like a full suitcase.
After eating all that, the escape room is your pants.
I need a 4-digit code to get out of here.
Do you know how I made it healthy?
How'd you make it healthy?
I drank water and got a salad with it. I was being very good.
Okay. I thought you said you got a prime rib and a dessert with it.
That was in 2004. Holes in your story. That was 2004. This is a couple years ago.
Oh, you had one since. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Since. Not since I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. That's when I stopped. And that's just a diagnosis. We don't know what was happening in 2000. I think I had type 12 after downing half of it. Yeah, I don't think it's the winner. It's just such a curiosity because it's so well known, not only for it is the most famous thing at Outback, and it tastes really good, but it is known to be one of the most calorically dense appetizers, maybe the most calorically dense dishes that you can order at a chain restaurant in America.
Yeah, famously so.
Yeah.
And, you know, but if we're doing a best appetizer episode, haven't we taken our calorie counter app and swiftly deleted it from our phone for the next hour?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it loses because it's got too many calories. Not at all. I just don't think it's the best appetizer because at the end of the day, it's the strength of it being different consistencies also makes it inconsistent in and of itself.
Yeah.
And you get petals. A lot of times the petals like, oh, this is onion skin that they didn't do a good job of removing. Or I went to take a bite and what happens? One of two things. Either the entirety of the skin comes off or the entirety of the onion comes out and you're only eating one or the other. So it's very hard to get a perfect bite. And I think for any dish of food, you want to be able to get a perfect bite of it. And it doesn't offer it. And I think that throws it out right away.
I think that's a great point that you make. Is this is going to be in this? I'm going to say usually a restaurant experience, unless you're loving cooking at home and you're making yourself appetizers and entrees and desserts. But this is generally a out in the world in a restaurant setting kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you do want an early bite, if not the first bite that you take at this restaurant, to be a perfectly composed bite. And I don't think you're going to get that bite with the bloomin' onion or an awesome blossom or a cactus cooler or whatever you call it. No, cactus cooler's a
cactus blossom.
Cactus blossom.
Awesome blossom, cactus blossom, and bloomin' onion are the three most popular names I can think of for that food.
Isn't bloomin' like an expletive? Like, isn't that calling it like, hey, we're going to get an onion?
Yes.
Make sure
That's
we bleep that.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say onion. And I think it is. I think it is supposed to be because look at that bloomin' onion.
Yeah.
I think you would think you're blooming because it's blossoming out. But I wonder if you're right. If it was like, you think that's not an onion. This is an onion. It's that.
Yeah.
It's,
Paul Hogan has it behind his back as he walks through the streets of New York, as people are just handing him regular sized onions.
yeah.
All right. So that's what's, is there anything then we think that's going to come out of this and make its way through?
No, because
I don't think
Jennifer
so
would
either.
get the chicken lettuce wraps as a meal back in the day.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
I do like a good chicken lettuce wrap.
Yeah. Yeah. It's totally fine. It's totally fine thing to get. The avocado egg roll, I'm sure is fine as well. I like a New York style egg roll like they had at the now departed Genghis Cohen, R.I.P.
Yeah. Who is it that does the Reuben egg rolls? Was that place that we went? Did we go to a place together
It's
that
the
had
place
that?
It's the place
McGuire's.
in Pensacola.
Thank you, Ken Plume.
Thank you, Ken.
McGuire's.
Where Ken would somehow... Ken, question for you. Before we ever went to McGuire's for the first time, had you met the guy who was the manager?
Yes.
You had met him prior to Pensacon?
No, the year you didn't go.
Okay, yeah, right. So he goes in there, and when we go there... No, wait, I was there before you.
But you didn't
Then
go.
you came-
But you didn't talk to the manager.
Right. You went. Ken goes and talks to the
This
manager.
is like listening to my aunt and uncle try to tell a story, by the way.
It had Tom Hanks in it. We go to this pub/restaurant, and Ken has arranged a private room for us. Ken does not carry like an Amex black card or anything. He just got to know the manager
his way in.
and was like, hey, I have some of the Mighty Boosh guys here and whatever. We got a private room, and it was great.
Yeah. They also served a steak sandwich that was literally a full-size porterhouse steak with a steak knife jabbed in it on top of a slice of bread.
Do you remember how you know that?
How do I know that?
Because I ordered it.
Oh, you ordered it. I do. Look, I do love egg rolls. I loved those Reuben egg rolls at McGuire's. Yeah. I don't know that that's going to... There's lots of different versions of small rolled up foods that make a good appetizer. And oddly, it seems like we're going to be talking about the staple appetizers, but there are some that the genre is staple, but the details are what's different. So egg rolls or Southwest egg rolls, which show up on lots of menus, or
dumplings,
lumpia at a Filipino place, or chimichangas at a Mexican place. Just little, full of stuff, rolled up and deep fried.
Yes. Classic, wonderful food.
Yeah.
I do think that because the extent to which American cuisine has co-opted the appetizer and turned it into this monster, that is the field that we should pick from. Because it's like, it's almost like the word appetizer is like appetizer. So we're looking for the best appetizer. Like that's what we're trying to find here.
All right. Well, then we're going to go to a break. And when we come back, we're going to pick the best appetizer. We'll be right back.
See you then.
Oh, gosh. You were right over my shoulder. How'd you do that?
Magic.
Hi, everybody. It's Ellen Weatherford.
And Christian Weatherford.
People say not to judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree.
But we can judge a snake by its ability to fly, or a spider by its ability to dive.
Or a dung beetle by its ability to navigate with the starlight of the Milky Way galaxy.
On Just the Zoo of Us, we rate our favorite animals out of 10 in the categories of physical effectiveness, behavioral ingenuity, and of course, aesthetics.
Guest experts like biologists, ecologists, musicians, comedians, and more join us to share their unique insights into the animal kingdom.
Listen with the whole family on MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts.
The wizard's answer, 8 by 8. The conclave's call to demonstrate their arcane gift, their single spell. They number 64. until a conflagration. 63 and 62 they soon shall be, as one by one the wizards die, till one remains to reign on high.
Join us for Taz Royale, an Oops All Wizards Battle Royale season of the Adventure Zone, every other Thursday on MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, Hal, let's talk about some of the appetizers that show up on all of the major chain restaurant menus. There's a few that show up on almost all of them.
Don't say them. You've a Venn diagram, right?
Yeah. So do you want to go from the Venn diagram I've got is a little bit off because there are some variations that didn't quite make it into little segments that should have. You want to guess what's on this Venn diagram?
I want to guess what the crossover is. Guess
all right. Well, now the three circles on this Venn diagram are
Fridays,
TGI
Applebee's.
Fridays, Chili's, and Applebee's.
Okay. TGI Fridays, Chili's, Applebee's. They all have wings.
Yes, they all have wings. In fact, Hal, you're starting off strong. That is the only appetizer that, as written, all three of them have, that are identical. They all have wings.
Okay. They all have a form of fried mozzarella, whether it is sticks or triangles.
They do all have a form that, and that was what took them off. That was what it took a couple of them off of the dead center, because it's not exactly mozzarella sticks; it's mozzarella something or other. And I don't want to lie to you, Hal. I really want to try those hot Nashville chicken mozzarella wads or whatever they're called. I'm not sure.
Why not? Sounds great.
Oh,
okay.
Doesn't that sound good?
Now, I know before we said chips and salsa is not an appetizer. However, there is one dip that tends to be an appetizer. I know is an appetizer at at least two of these places. I will guess that all three of them have it. And that is the spinach and artichoke dip.
They do. You know, I feel like this Venn diagram is wrong because it doesn't have spinach artichoke dip in all three. And that's because I think that Chili's, hold on. Let me look at the Chili's menu real quick. I got it in front of me. Don't worry. Because I was like, there's no way that it doesn't have spinach artichoke dip, but yeah, it doesn't.
Maybe it doesn't. Okay.
So it's not in all three. Here you go. This is why. What's the dip that Chili's has that the others don't, that replaces the spinach artichoke dip, which is high on my list?
What is it?
Their queso. That Chili's chili queso. Oh,
yeah,
so
okay.
Good.
All right. I still think of that as
spinach artichoke dip is on way more, even though it's not on Chili's and doesn't fit this Venn diagram.
And it's not the winner. It's very good, but not the winner.
Well, hang on a second. We're just making the list right now.
Okay, all right.
I could make a pitch for spinach artichoke dip.
I'm sure you can. All right, we got those things. We got wings. We got fried cheese. We've got a spinach artichoke dip or queso, some form thereof. That is a hot dip that you order that is brought to the table. Then everything else is just the vehicle to get it in your mouth. Jalapeno poppers.
Not on these. I don't think that shows up.
Not on all of them.
There's no crossover on all of them for that.
Okay.
But jalapeno poppers, I am putting on the list because they're delicious.
Is there something else that they all have that I'm missing?
There are other things that a couple of them have. I'll just give you the rest of them.
Go ahead.
And cocktail things that are on at least a couple of these menus are pot stickers, which we talked about briefly, fried pickles.
Yeah.
And the quesadilla. Quesadilla, very popular. Quesadilla actually looks like it is, that might be on all three of them.
It's also a meal. They just took a meal and made it a little smaller.
You think a quesadilla is a meal?
Tater skins.
That's what I said. Didn't I say that? Did I say tater skins?
I didn't say it. I can't believe I didn't say it. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. They're pretty great. So this will be the list that we're working from then.
Okay.
And tell me if you want to add anything to this list. We have wings, mozzarella sticks, spinach dip / queso dip / dip. I'm going to put we'll make that a separate category. We'll figure out the best one out of that. Hot dip. And then we have jalapeno poppers, quesadillas, potato skins, fried pickles. I believe that's it.
Okay.
Let's talk about wings, because wings were the first one you mentioned. Wings are an appetizer that is on all of these menus. In fact, a couple of them have entire sections devoted to wings. I almost feel like I have to recuse myself because
wings are so good.
They might be objectively the winner, but subjectively, I don't like wings.
because they're
If
messy.
somebody puts a plate of wings in front of me, I'll eat maybe 2 because they're messy.
Because they're messy. You don't like the mess. I understand
I don't like
that,
the
Mark.
mess. Yeah.
What if I told you that for a flat, that the best way to eat it is actually messier?
Then they're definitely not going to win.
Do you know the umbrella opening where you take it and go like that? All the meat comes off. You just eat it. Oh, it's so good.
You just smack it on a table like it's someone's head to
You
Heath
hold
Ledger's Joker?
You hold it like it's like that. The end is there, and then you take it and you push down, and it peels all the meat and skin off, and you can just eat it. So you don't have to do the like.
That's how you field dress a wild boar, and I don't want to watch that either.
They had to develop it somewhere. They're so good. Look, it's a mess.
The mess. Look,
you're gonna get messy. This isn't clean. Eating ain't clean, pal.
Eating is clean. It can be. Here's the thing, Hal. I don't want to begin I have a little plate. I have a little plate in front of me that I've been given until I get my big plate for later.
For the bones.
And if there's a bunch of appetizers floating around, you know what I don't want to do? I don't want to fill my little plate with garbage.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be leftover garbage. And then I'm going to be like, oh, I've got to set this delightful little spinach artichoke dip crostini onto a plate that already has carcass garbage on it.
Oh, no, my plate looks like the dumpster at a haunted house. It's just a pile of bones. So
like
good.
It looks like a chandelier in a Satanist's house.
It looks like Tim Burton's chandelier. That's right. They're so good. They are messy, yes.
Yeah.
Some food is worth
you are messing
the
up.
mess.
You are making an absolute mess of your table before you even get your entree.
Mark, do you like ribs?
No.
Oh, so there's something.
It's the mess. Yeah.
You don't like the mess.
Ribs are fine. I'll tell you this. I like the flavor of ribs. I like the meat of ribs.
Yeah.
I don't like the amount of work and the amount of carcass that's left on my plate after ribs. And I've been to eat ribs before and left hungry because there's not really enough food.
Here's why the wings are so good. First of all, you should always have a side with your ribs. Don't just eat the ribs. Have a side. That you'll be a lot happier.
Yeah. All right.
The other thing is, the beauty of wings is that it comes in so many different varieties. You can get like a bourbon wing. You can get a barbecue wing. I like a spicy or mild wing personally. Would I eat a Nashville hot? Sure, I'll try it. I like Nashville hot chicken just as much as the next person. But it also is, there's something very, I don't know, I just associate it with, I guess, like watching a game or watching a movie or relaxing. And just, it's I always want to try the wings wherever I go. Because I think if they do those well, then all the other food is going to be really good. I think it's a bellwether food at a restaurant. That's not the reason why I would advocate it as a possible winner. I think it's just a classic finger food. There's a reason why every place carries it. It's a little bit of protein at the beginning of the meal. I don't like them heavily breaded. Some people do, but you can have it breaded or unbreaded. It's served in so many different styles to be just that thing that I think that's,
I get that people like
its favor.
I get that people like it. I get also that people don't like it, which is why they introduced several years ago the boneless wing, which that I'm on board for. And that actually is a thing that all three of these restaurants have. They have wings and they also offer boneless wings.
Which are like breast pieces.
Which, yeah, they call them boneless wings, but I don't think they're wings. They're like breast nuggets, right?
Yeah, wings are like dark meat pieces.
Yeah. So really, I just like chicken nuggets.
Yeah, which is nothing wrong. Love a chicken nugget. Come on.
Sure. But I think that what might happen here, I know you're advocating for this, but if you've got a review at 5 stars and a review at 1 star, you're going to wind up with the aggregate 3-star review, and that's not going to put you on the top.
Right, but your review is not based on I don't like the food. Your review is I can't possibly get my hands dirty while I'm having a meal.
Hold on a second. This food is comically messy is not the same thing as I don't want to get my hands remotely dirty. Yes, that's true.
Eat these that they get only my fingertips really get dirty when I have this stuff.
I don't want my fingertips. It's more about the fingertips. It's the fingertips getting dirty. It's the sheer volume of napkins that I'm using. I'm using a rainforest of napkins every time I order wings. And it's the mess on the table. It's the mess in front of me. I want it pretty. I want it to look pretty, Hal.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
I don't agree.
Wings.
I don't agree that it's eliminated, but I understand.
Well, okay, we can eliminate
your weird
how about
thing
this?
about it.
It's not a weird thing. You shut your mouth.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird.
All right. We can eliminate it later then, because it's not going to win.
It might win.
I literally just crossed it off.
It might win. How dare you? You don't keep the master list.
Yeah, I do. When was the last time that you wrote this stuff down?
Never. I don't have, it's in my head. In my head, not crossed out. Bingo.
Dang it. Foiled by Hal's head again.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk. Let's pick our dip. How's that?
I like a spinach artichoke because it's everywhere. Queso is good. There are some places where it's great. Ask Ken about the Chewy's queso and he will maybe tear up because there isn't one close to him anymore. That's a very difficult thing, and I respect that. I know what it's like to have a restaurant or dish you love go away and be very far away and not be able to get it. It's never a happy thing for anyone. But there's something about the spinach and artichoke dip. What I like about it is that people can sort of pretend it's healthy, even though it's not.
Oh, the myth of the spinach dip is magic, my friend.
But it's not.
You
the
are
winner.
eating spinach. No. Here's the thing. If you look at well, maybe it is. Here's the thing. If you look at the ingredients, the first two, neither of the first two ingredients is going to be spinach or artichoke.
Cheese and cream.
It's going to be cheese, cream, mayo, breadcrumbs, whatever else.
Yeah.
They put that stuff in there. So you're like, you know what? Why don't we get the healthy appetizer? Let's not get the unhealthy bloomin' onion. Why don't we get the spinach and artichokes? Those are both vegetables.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, server. Can we get the very healthy appetizer that comes with chips the size of baseball gloves? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Can you bring that to us?
Of course. Let me just sit down in your booth here and I'll write that down.
No, there's no room. No, there's no room. My purse is there. Don't scratch my purse.
It's okay. It's okay.
Please,
it's okay. I'll just put my hand on yours. Just put my hand on yours here on the end.
Please, no, get off my lap. Stop.
Okay.
My leg. Ow, ow,
I'm gonna get that spin dip for you. Wink.
Thank you.
Then the bill comes and it's smiley face.
It's not the winner. It's good, but it's not the winner. It's not the best one.
Why? Hold on a second. Why do you think it's not the winner then?
Not messy enough.
It's not messy enough. Are you? Now you're just going to be obstinate about wings.
No, I think it's very good, but it's like every once in a while I'm into it. It's not the thing I will go for if I see it, and I want the thing that when I see it I'm like, oh, I want. That's why wings for me is something. If I see wings, I'm like, oh, I'd like to have wings. It's not the only thing I'm like that with, but some of them like, oh, I'm kind of in the mood to have this. I guess it's a spinach dip kind of night. That to me is not a winner. That is a fine. These are all fine appetizers. I don't think that's the winner. That would be my reasoning for it. Why do you think it is the winner?
Well, I don't know if it's the winner. I'm calling balls and strikes right now, Hal. I'm not choosing the winner.
And then
this
you're
particular
ejecting
game.
the wings.
I'm ejecting the wings for the mess that they've made.
I
think one thing
strikes.
One thing in favor of spinach artichoke dip is the communal aspect of it. It's fun when it comes. It's got that bubbly crust on top, and it's one of those ones that's a little bit flashy. It's like, ooh, all right, this is gonna be, if it's served, piping hot, like right out of the oven, and it's a thing. I love like the communal nature of a dip. My problem with a spinach artichoke dip is I think that getting the correct ratio of pita chips / toast points / tortilla chips to dip is as elusive as the DVD logo on the screensaver actually touching the corner.
Yeah,
it is the DVD screensaver of appetizers. You want the ratio to be just right, and it's always just a little off. There's always just a little too much chip or a little too much dip.
Yep, I agree. It's gone.
No, I didn't say it's gone. You know what? I didn't cross it off on my list. You may have crossed it off in your head canon, but it's still on there.
It's gone. It disappeared.
All right. So, that's our dip that's going through. So you've already eliminated that. Should we talk about?
No, we're not taking
queso
one of each. It's some of them are finalists, some of them are not. You don't get to show up because you're a dip. We just picked one of the dips that would be the best of those to see if it was even a finalist, and it's not.
Why? Hal? I show up at Thrilling Adventure Hour every show because I'm a dip.
Look, you tried it.
Tried what?
You tried to snake it into the finals, but it is not. I think we're just going to find the winner in here somewhere.
All right. What do you want to talk about next? Here's what else we have. It's not wings. You can get that out of your head.
No. Do you want to know why it's not fried mozzarella?
Why is it not fried mozzarella?
As much as I love fried mozzarella. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Too often, one of three things will happen.
Yeah.
One is it's way too hot. It burns your mouth. And then by the time you remember to try it again, it's cold.
Yeah.
That can happen. Other times you will bite into it and you will take a bite of the cheese and it will completely pull out and separate.
And you will be left with a sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the third thing is that you will take a bite of it and it will stick on the back of your throat like right here. And then it's uncomfortable, and if it's too hot, it's burning you, or you're trying to and that is the exact moment that someone will say, so, tell us how things are going, and you're in this area, and you can't drink enough water. There isn't enough water on the planet to wash it down properly.
Yeah, because the water that you're going to drink is cold, and that liquid mozzarella that you're hoping slides down suddenly goes back to its most solid state.
Yeah.
And you've got a mozz knob in your gullet. Yeah.
That's what you do.
I have to tell you a story. Here's a ridiculous moment in mozzarella stick history. I went years and years ago in my single days to Barney's Beanery.
Sure.
And it was one of these nights where it was like a buddy's like, hey, there's a girl who's single here. You're single. Maybe this will be fun. We're going to go to pub trivia night at Barney's. We go to pub trivia night at Barney's, and she had ordered mozzarella sticks. We're all sitting around, and I clocked it early. She didn't really eat much of the mozzarella sticks. And then I clocked it later. I realized I guess they had gotten cold, and they had gotten to that second state that you just mentioned.
Yes.
The second state where it slides off. And I looked down at the basket next to me, and all I saw were 6 bare string cheeses in a fried basket with a thing of marinara. And I was like, oh, I have to get out of here. And I snapped a picture of it, and I sent it to my buddy. I was like, what do I do? And he's like, politely leave. That is unhinged behavior. To just eat first of all, to just eat the breading off of anything, let alone to strip the mozzarella stick of the one thing that makes it an appetizer and not just a bowl of loose string cheeses.
Bunch of wet polio.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm having flashbacks to that.
Blah.
Yeah, that was rough. All right. So maybe it's not the mozzarella stick, though I really do still want to try that Nashville hot chicken mozzarella.
Sure. I know. Look,
did they drop the name TGI? Are they not, thank God it's Friday anymore?
I think it's just Fridays.
Okay.
I think they're just Fridays now.
I highly encourage you and everyone else to go online and watch the history of TGI Fridays on YouTube. It is delightful.
Yeah. Started as a singles bar.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Let's go south of the border. Which do you want to talk about first, the quesadilla or the jalapeno popper?
The quesadilla is a meal.
I don't think the quesadilla is a meal.
The number of Mexican places that I go to that are like legitimate Mexican places, that is a meal that you buy. It's not an appetizer beforehand. We have turned it into an appetizer, but it is a full meal because ideally it has cheese and meat and some vegetables in there. It's just a different delivery system.
Yeah, I would push back on that. A, because it's on every one of these appetizer menus. And B, because it's a shareable. It's cut up into perfectly shareable wedges. There is a dip factor because you've got the sour cream, the guacamole, and the salsa. You
Only way to get flavor.
Your dip. Great flavor vehicle, both, but it's a flavor vehicle within the confines of the tortilla and what you put on the outside of the tortilla. Are you hung up on this? You think it is a meal, and that's why?
I find it to be wildly uneven. I can't think of the number of times in my life that I've had a quesadilla and gone like, that was a good choice what I just did. I'm sure glad I had that. I cannot think.
Like them.
I don't know if I can think of a single time. It's the snow cone effect. That is what it is. It's the snow cone's shave ice effect, which is the first few bites are great. And then you get to the part that's not that good and it doesn't have a lot of flavor. And it is a waste of whatever amount of money you spent. Like maybe half of it is good, half of it is empty, a little bit of cheese, and a whole lot of tortilla. And then you need the dip. That's the only way you're getting any flavor out of it. So you're using the dips to mask the fact that it's only half good. That is why it's not a winner, in my mind.
I will say that it's wildly uneven. I would agree with that, but it's less about the unevenness of the ratio of filling to tortilla, because I don't mind that. I actually like that there are some bites that are mostly tortilla, because that's when I'm not trying to mask anything with the dips. For me, that's the moment when I'm like, oh, this is a mostly empty one. Okay, dips, you're up. Guess I'm about to find out what the guac tastes like at this place. For me, it's the fact that the quesadilla, it's the cutting of it that can be so wildly different, because if you're getting that one piece in the middle, the only thing that is holding that quesadilla together is that one little end where the fold was. That's the only part that's holding it together, and it can be a very flappy thing. Outside of the pieces, the larger wedge pieces on the side that have a little bit more fold area, You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I still think it's... So we're not going to have anything left, you know? You've eliminated... Everything we've mentioned, you've eliminated.
There's one left.
Or I've eliminated.
There's one left.
There is one left. And
what if?
You might be right that it is...
Want me to tell you what it is?
No, because look, this is not Hal got this.
It's not.
We're going to discuss all of these. We're going to get to Tater Skins. Don't worry. We'll get to Tater Skins.
You already knew what the winner was. I didn't know it.
I didn't say the winner. I said,
but you said we're going to get to Tater Skins.
We'll get to what you think is the winner. Let's talk further about.
I was right.
I didn't say you were right.
What honorable mentions do you want to go through? Go ahead.
Let me know when you're done with your little.
I'm ready. I'm waiting.
Halness.
I'm waiting. We got to record another one of these. Let's go. Stop trying to stretch it out like a mozzarella stick. Like a wet polio that girl left in the basket.
Look, we all learned from that little excursion that not all mozzarella sticks stretch.
True.
And not all mozzarella sticks last past the first course of the meal either. Sometimes they just go out to their car, cut their losses, and hit up a drive-through.
That's right.
With apologies to my team that lost that night because I wasn't there. Whatever. I lost on Jeopardy. Let's not talk about it. All right. Yeah, the only other one that we've got on this list is the jalapeno popper. One that I love, a classic. It's another little fried bite with cheese in the middle. It's basically a mozzarella stick with a different kind of cheese and a little jalapeno kick.
It's fine. I do think there are people where they're like, it's too spicy. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I don't like raw jalapeno bites. I don't like I like jalapeno flavoring in things. Mm-hmm. Like I like infused stuff. I don't like jalapeno in itself because I find it to be a really bitter bite. Like not pleasant.
If it's not cooked well enough.
Right. And so you don't know what you're going to get when it's fried up like that. You might get a good bite. Again, not consistent. And I think that the bits of jalapeno for me are not like, I'm not a jalapeno fan because of how often you get a bum bite out of it. And the color, it's green. We all know green things don't belong in that part of the meal.
The green things belong in the salad or as a side dish as you determine. Or may I throw out in a key lime pie?
Oh yeah, sure.
That's good, right?
Pie. That's real good.
Now,
and chocolate chip ice cream too.
Listen,
M&Ms. Yep.
Hal,
Skittles.
I want to see you after class. Come here. I want to see you. I want to see you at my desk after class.
All right, here I come.
Listen, the rest of the students needed to get to the end. They didn't need you to jump to the end too early, regardless of whether or not you were right.
Hey, do you like apples?
No.
Do you like apples?
No. Why?
Yes, you do. Say you like apples. How dare you?
I'm not giving you the satisfaction. I'm not giving you the satisfaction.
How dare you
wings
not
are
two
great,
bits
Loveland.
my shave and the haircut? After 22
All right,
years.
Fine, I like apples.
No, you're not allowed. No apples for you. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to have apples. How dare you? Just because I'm the Goodwill Hunting of appetizers. You dare. You dare to not say who's there to knock knock. Shame on you.
Let's talk about the potato skin.
It's delicious. It's a potato boat fried with cheese and bacon on top.
Is it fried? I always thought they were just baked or broiled.
Or baked or broiled. Sometimes
it's a baked potato and then they scoop it out.
However they do it, it's so good. They probably do broil it. I'm sure they broil it. I'm sure you're right.
All right, what's your topping combo? Are you just strictly
cheese and bacon?
Just cheese and bacon, that's it?
And I'll dip it into
sour cream and scallions?
No, I'll dip it in ketchup.
Oh, okay. I've done the dipping it in ranch before. I've never tried dipping them in ketchup. But yeah, I think we had to give everything its due time. But yeah, I think there's no question. Look, a baked potato is delicious. What are tater skins if not just the best version of a baked potato where you don't have to eat the whole potato in the middle. You just get to have all the nutrients of the skin and all the deliciousness of all the garbage that you put on top.
How dare you use the word nutrients in an episode about appetizers?
Yeah, man. This is probably the healthiest thing that you could ever eat is potato skins. Look, man, you got all your food groups. You got vegetables.
Yep.
You got dairy.
Yes.
You got meat.
Correct.
And you've got the playoffs.
That's right.
Yeah. So you sit in the bar, you watch the playoffs, you eat your vegetable, dairy, and meat.
Yeah, you have it all at once in one
Yeah.
convenient delivery. People of the world, the potato skin it's so good. They tried to make potato chips that were like potato skins. They couldn't do it. It wasn't good enough because you can't recreate that. You take a potato, you make it into a canoe, you put cheese and bacon on there, throw other stuff on top if you want. It's fine with that base.
But go easy on that. Don't be, this is not a gourmet thing.
Go hard. You go hard. You crank that up to 12. 11 doesn't exist in our world. We go to 12. How about that?
Ooh.
That is why the potato skin is the best appetizer. Asked and answered.
Do you remember the song for the potato skins snack chips?
I know it's like sour cream and onion, cheddar, cheese and chives, 7 and bacon. You
Tasty
won't believe
baked
your
potato,
eyes.
you won't
believe your eyes.
They're made with potatoes and skins that are real. Potato skins from Keebler. Baked potato appeal.
No. Shame on you, Keebler. Shame. The elf who came up with that went to a debtor's prison. That's how bad that idea was.
I didn't
Could've
know
just had
that the
potato
Keebler
skins.
elves still had debtor's prison.
But you
They're
can
pretty,
tell. Look how
they're
they
pretty
dress.
old-timey in their laws.
Look how they dress. They live in a tree.
Yeah,
and the
that's
way
true.
that they dress, for sure. For
Do
sure.
you
There
think
are
they're
a lot of
rocking
scarlet
the
letters.
code of Hammurabi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never show the one who lost his hand. He mixes together the slurries out of sight.
Just the notion of a handless Keebler elf up there mixing the potato skin powder. You know what? Makes me wish they still sold them because I'd go buy them right now.
Hezekiah to the slurry.
This topic is closed, but there are many more topics to discuss. So please reach out to us via email at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com or
find us on all the socials at We Got This Podcast. Find us on Instagram at We Got This Show. Go to Facebook.com/group/We Got This Podcast if you care to. But I sure do wish that you would go to our Discord, bit.ly/WGT Discord. Thank you to producer Ken Plume, researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kelman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
And thanks, of course, to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, the people of the world, for giving us a chance to sit here in this restaurant with this. I'm so sorry. Could you, did you have like something that you needed to ask us about?
I just wanted to come and sit here real quick, make sure how's everything going. Okay, can I have a sip of that? I'm just kidding. I work here.
That was my Diet Coke. Can I get another straw then?
Nope. Bye.
Okay. Thank you to, where were we in the thank yous? I forgot.
To the people.
Thank you. And thank you to you, the people of the world, with whom we would love to sit down at this table, enjoy all of these appetizers. And you know what? Hal can have his own plate of wings. We will share these appetizers, all of us together, because you're the reason we do this show. We couldn't do it without you. We wouldn't do it without you. And to you, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. And don't worry, everybody. We got this.
We got this.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows
supported
directly
by you.